Hello there, and welcome to The Sleepy Scientist. Tonight we turn our attention toward one of the slowest and most peaceful stages in the life of a star. We drift gently into the warm, quiet glow of red giant stars, vast celestial bodies that expand patiently over millions of years, changing not through sudden events but through steady balance and time. Before we begin, allow yourself to settle comfortably. Let your shoulders soften, your hands rest easily, and your breathing slow without effort. There is nothing you need to concentrate on, and nothing you need to remember. Whatever belonged to the day can fade into the background, becoming quieter with each gentle breath. Red giant stars are not hurried or dramatic. They grow slowly, glowing softly as they expand, filling space with warmth and calm light. Their changes unfold over immense stretches of time, so gradual that motion itself feels almost still. In their presence, the universe feels patient, unpressured, and steady. As we continue, we'll explore the most relaxing facts about red giant stars. We'll observe how they form, how they change quietly, how their light softens, and how they exist in long-lasting balance. These facts are not meant to excite or overwhelm. They are meant to slow your thoughts, ease your attention, and guide you gently toward rest. If you enjoy these calm journeys through the gentle side of science, you're always welcome to subscribe and return whenever you need quiet curiosity or peaceful sleep. But for now, allow your awareness to drift outward into the warm, steady glow of red giant stars, where time stretches wide and change happens slowly. Let's begin. A red giant star is a quiet phase in a star's long life, where time seems to stretch and slow. After spending most of its existence calmly turning hydrogen into energy, the star begins to change its rhythm. The fuel in its core gradually becomes scarce, and instead of burning brightly and tightly, the star allows itself to expand. Its outer layers drift outward into space, growing softer and cooler, giving the star its gentle reddish glow. This transformation takes millions of years, happening so slowly that nothing about it feels rushed. It is a reminder that even in the universe, change often comes through patience rather than force. As a red giant grows, its size becomes almost unimaginable. Some red giants expand so much that, if placed where our Sun is now, they would stretch beyond the orbit of Mercury, Venus, or even Earth. Yet despite this enormous size, the star does not become more intense in a sharp way. Its surface actually cools compared to its earlier life, spreading its energy across a much larger area. This balance between immense scale and gentle warmth creates a calm presence in space, like a slow breath taken by a star that has nothing left to hurry for. Inside a red giant star, the core continues its quiet work. While the outer layers expand, the core contracts slightly and grows hotter, preparing for new kinds of fusion. Helium slowly begins to form and later ignite, but even this process unfolds over long stretches of time. Nothing happens suddenly. The star adjusts itself carefully, maintaining balance between gravity pulling inward and energy pushing outward. This steady internal motion is invisible from afar, yet it defines the peaceful stability of the red giant phase. The reddish colour of a red giant star is not a sign of danger, but of calm temperature. Compared to blue or white stars, red giants have cooler surfaces, often glowing in warm shades of orange and red. This colour feels soothing to the human eye, especially when imagined against the dark silence of space. The light from a red giant travels for years or centuries before reaching any observer, carrying with it a soft reminder of the star's slow and measured existence. Red giant stars often lose material gently into space. Their outer layers are held less tightly by gravity as the star expands, allowing gas to drift away in slow stellar winds. These winds are not violent blasts but gradual releases, like the star exhaling. Over time, this material enriches the surrounding space with elements that may later become part of new stars, planets, or even living worlds. In this way, red giants quietly contribute to the future while resting in their present form. From a distance, red giant stars appear steady and calm, but up close their surfaces are alive with slow movement. Vast convection currents rise and fall, carrying heat from the interior to the surface. These currents can be larger than entire planets, yet they move at an unhurried pace. The surface of a red giant is not smooth or still, but its motion is gentle and rhythmic, more like drifting clouds than raging storms. Many of the familiar stars in the night sky will one day become red giants, including our own sun. Billions of years from now, the sun will slowly expand and glow with a redder light, marking its transition into this peaceful phase. Thinking about this future can feel surprisingly calming, as it places human time into perspective. Long after current worries fade, the sun will continue its slow evolution, following the same quiet rules that guide all stars. Red giant stars often exist in silence, far from dramatic cosmic events. They are not defined by explosions or collisions, but by endurance. Their light remains steady over long periods, making them reliable beacons in the galaxy. Ancient civilizations unknowingly observed red giants without realizing their nature, seeing only a calm point of light in the sky. Even today, these stars remind astronomers that stability and change can coexist in delicate balance. As red giants age further, they continue to adjust rather than resist change. Some will eventually shed their outer layers completely, forming beautiful planetary nebulae, while others will move toward different endings depending on their mass. Yet during the red giant phase, there is no urgency toward the end. The star exists fully in this moment, expanded, luminous and calm, taking as long as it needs before the next transition arrives. When imagined during rest or sleep, red giant stars feel like cosmic companions that understand slowness. They show that even the most powerful objects in the universe eventually soften, expand and release control. Their quiet glow, slow transformation, and gentle presence make them perfect symbols of rest, patience, and deep cosmic calm, continuing their journey through space without haste, without noise, and without needing to arrive anywhere quickly. As a red giant star continues its slow expansion, its gravity gently loosens its hold on the outer layers. This does not happen abruptly. Instead, the star allows matter to drift away over very long periods of time. The released gas moves calmly into space, creating faint invisible currents that blend into the surrounding darkness. This gradual release feels like a natural easing rather than a loss, showing how the universe allows change to happen without tension. Red giant stars often exist in a delicate balance between inward gravity and outward energy. Neither force overwhelms the other. Gravity keeps the star together, while energy from the core pushes gently outward. This balance remains stable for millions of years, creating a sense of steady calm. The star is neither collapsing nor exploding. It simply maintains its expanded form, resting within equilibrium. The surface of a red giant star feels distant and quiet compared to its core. Heat rises slowly from deep within, traveling through vast layers before reaching the surface. By the time this energy emerges as light, it has softened, spreading evenly rather than bursting outward. This gentle journey of energy mirrors the idea that calm processes often take the longest paths. Many red giant stars vary slightly in brightness, but these changes occur slowly and smoothly. The star may grow a little brighter or dimmer as its internal balance shifts, yet these variations unfold over months or years. There are no sudden flashes. Instead, the star's light subtly breathes in and out, reinforcing the sense of a slow, living rhythm. Red giant stars can live in quiet companionship with other stars. In binary systems, a red giant may orbit a partner star, moving together in graceful loops that last centuries or longer. Their shared motion is unhurried, like a slow dance shaped by gravity. Even when material flows gently between them, the process unfolds without urgency. The size of a red giant star can make time feel different nearby. light takes longer to cross its vast diameter, meaning that even within the star, moments stretch. This internal scale contributes to the sense that everything about a red giant happens slowly, from energy movement to structural change. When astronomers observe red giant stars, they often see them as steady anchors in the sky. Because red giants change gradually, their presence feels reliable. They remain visible for long spans of human history, offering a sense of continuity across generations. This reliability adds to their calming influence when imagined or observed. Red giant stars are often surrounded by quiet halos of gas created from their gentle mass loss. These halos drift outwards slowly, blending into the interstellar medium. Over time, this material becomes part of the broader galaxy, contributing to future stars in a quiet, uncelebrated way. The internal temperature of a red giant's core remains carefully regulated. While the core becomes hotter as it contracts, this increase is controlled and steady. The star continuously adjusts to prevent runaway reactions, maintaining a calm internal structure that supports its expanded outer layers. As a red giant star continues along its long path of change, it remains fully present in its expanded state. There is no rush toward what comes next. The star exists calmly within this phase, glowing softly, releasing energy gently, and moving through space at its own unhurried pace, allowing time itself to feel wide and forgiving. Red giant stars often occupy a peaceful place within their galaxies, shining steadily while surrounded by vast regions of quiet space. Their light travels across immense distances, passing through clouds of gas and dust without disturbance. By the time it reaches distant observers, it carries with it the calm history of the star's slow transformation, reminding us that light itself can be shaped by patience. The expansion of a red giant star causes its surface gravity to decrease gently. Objects near the surface would feel less tightly held than before, allowing material to linger and drift rather than fall sharply inward. This reduced gravity creates an environment where movement feels soft and unforced, reinforcing the star's relaxed nature. Red giant stars often develop extended atmospheres that stretch far beyond their visible surfaces. These outer layers are thin and diffuse, blending gradually into space rather than ending abruptly. This gentle transition between star and space creates a sense of openness, as though the star is slowly dissolving into its surroundings without resistance. Within a red giant, energy moves through layers in long looping paths. Heat rises, cools slightly, and sinks back down in cycles that can take years to complete. These slow convection currents shape the star's surface brightness and texture, but always in a smooth and continuous way that never feels sudden. Many red giants shine with a steady warmth that remains consistent over long periods. Unlike young, active stars that flare unpredictably, red giants rarely produce sharp bursts of energy. Their output remains calm and dependable, making them ideal symbols of stability in the vast and often changing universe. As red giant stars age, their outer layers become more transparent. Light escapes more easily, spreading evenly across space. This diffusion softens the star's glow, allowing it to illuminate its surroundings without overpowering them. The result is a gentle presence that feels inviting rather than intense. Red giants often mark the later chapters of stellar evolution, yet this stage can last for millions of years. During this time, the star exists comfortably in its expanded form, not rushing towards an ending. This extended duration emphasizes that even late stages in cosmic life can be slow and peaceful. The slow shedding of material from red giant stars contributes quietly to the life cycle of the galaxy. The released elements mix into interstellar clouds over long periods, eventually forming new stars or planets. This quiet recycling happens without fanfare, showing how calm processes can have lasting influence. Observing red giant stars allows astronomers to study time on a grand scale. Their predictable behavior and long lifespans provide insight into stellar aging without the distraction of sudden events. This steady pattern helps place human time into perspective, making everyday concerns feel small and manageable. As a red giant continues to glow and expand gently, it remains suspended between its past and future states. It neither clings to its former life nor rushes toward what comes next. Instead, it exists calmly in the present, radiating warmth and light at a pace that feels unhurried and reassuring. Red giant stars often feel peaceful because their changes happen on timescales far beyond human experience. A single adjustment in their structure can take thousands or even millions of years, allowing every transformation to unfold gently. This slow pace means that nothing about a red giant ever feels abrupt. Instead, each moment blends smoothly into the next, creating a continuous flow that feels calm and reassuring. As a red giant expands, its outer layers become more loosely bound, allowing them to respond softly to internal motion. When energy rises from the core, it does not burst outward but spreads gradually, shaping the star's surface in subtle ways. This gentle response to energy reflects a natural harmony between movement and rest. The light from a red giant star often appears steady and warm, lacking the sharp intensity seen in younger stars. This softness comes from the star's cooler surface temperature, which allows its glow to feel calm rather than piercing. When imagined during rest, this warm light feels like a distant, steady presence rather than something demanding attention. Red giant stars are often found in older regions of galaxies, where star formation has slowed and space feels quieter. Their presence contributes to the sense of calm in these regions, acting as slow-burning embers rather than active sparks. They illuminate space without disturbing it, offering gentle guidance rather than dramatic display. Inside a red giant, layers move in slow harmony. The core contracts gradually while the outer regions expand, each adjustment carefully balanced. This coordination ensures that the star remains stable, avoiding sudden collapse or explosion. The result is a prolonged period of calm existence shaped by balance rather than conflict. The atmosphere of a red giant star can extend far into space, forming a soft boundary rather than a sharp edge. This diffuse atmosphere allows particles to drift outward slowly, blending into the surrounding darkness. The star does not end abruptly but fades gently into space, reinforcing its tranquil nature. Red giants often serve as reminders that aging in the universe is not synonymous with decline. Instead of weakening suddenly, these stars grow larger and more luminous in their own way. Their expanded form represents a different kind of strength, one based on presence and endurance rather than intensity. The gentle pulsations seen in some red giant stars are slow and rhythmic. These pulsations cause slight expansions and contractions that occur over long periods. Rather than signaling instability, they demonstrate the star's ability to adjust calmly, breathing in and out without urgency. Because red giant stars change so predictably, they are often used as reference points in astronomy. Their steady behavior allows scientists to understand distances and stellar evolution with confidence. This reliability adds to their calming reputation, as they remain constant guides in an ever-expanding universe. As red giant stars continue their slow evolution, they remain suspended in a state of quiet transformation. They are not defined by beginnings or endings, but by an extended present where warmth, light, and time coexist peacefully, allowing the universe to unfold without haste. Red giant stars often feel calm because their presence is defined more by space than by motion. Their expanded size allows them to occupy vast regions of space without moving quickly through it. This sense of occupying rather than travelling gives red giants a grounded quality, as if they are resting within the galaxy rather than passing through it. As a red giant star expands, its outer layers become thinner and more diffuse. These layers do not cling tightly to the star, but hover gently, supported by slow-moving energy from within. This creates a soft, extended envelope around the star that blends gradually into the surrounding space, removing any sense of sharp boundaries. The warmth of a red giant star is spread across its enormous surface, making its light feel even and gentle. Instead of concentrating energy into a small, intense area, the star distributes it widely, allowing its glow to feel calm and steady. This spreading of energy mirrors the idea that calm often comes from sharing rather than concentrating force. Red giant stars often shine steadily for long periods without noticeable change. To an observer, their light may appear almost constant over a lifetime. This quiet consistency allows them to fade into the background of the night sky in a comforting way, becoming familiar points of reference rather than sources of excitement. Inside a red giant, fusion processes continue slowly and carefully. Helium nuclei begin to interact under immense pressure, but these reactions are regulated by balance rather than speed. The star adjusts its structure as needed, ensuring that energy production remains controlled and calm. The immense size of a red giant star means that sound waves within it would take a long time to travel from one side to the other. Even internal vibrations move slowly, contributing to the overall sense that everything about these stars unfolds at an unhurried pace. Red giant stars often exist in relative isolation, far from regions of active starbirth. These quieter neighborhoods of the galaxy feel settled and mature, allowing red giants to glow without competition from brighter, younger stars. Their light becomes part of a calm cosmic landscape rather than a crowded scene. As red giants lose mass over time, the process remains gentle and continuous. Material drifts away slowly, forming extended clouds that remain nearby for long periods. There is no sudden shedding, only a gradual release that feels natural and unforced. The expanded atmosphere of a red giant allows light to scatter softly before leaving the star. This scattering smooths the star's brightness, making its glow appear even more diffuse and calming. The light does not rush outward but lingers briefly, reinforcing the sense of patience. As red giant stars continue to exist in this expanded state, they embody a quiet acceptance of change. They do not resist their transformation, nor do they rush toward what comes next. Instead, they remain fully present, glowing softly within the vast stillness of space, allowing time to move gently around them. Red giant stars often feel soothing because their presence fills space without overwhelming it. Their expanded size allows them to occupy a large volume gently, creating a sense of fullness rather than pressure. This spaciousness feels balanced, as though the star found a comfortable way to exist within the vast openness of the galaxy. As a red giant grows older, its outer layers respond slowly to subtle changes deep within the core. These responses take place over immense spans of time, allowing the star to adjust without strain. Nothing is forced, and every shift happens gradually, reinforcing the idea that stability can be maintained through patience. The glow of a red giant star carries a warmth that feels ancient and settled. This light has been shaped by countless years of steady fusion and careful balance. When imagined during rest, it feels like a constant presence, illuminating space softly without demanding attention. Red giant stars often exhibit gentle surface motions caused by slow convection currents. These currents rise and fall over long periods, reshaping the surface slightly but never violently. The motion feels rhythmic and natural, like a slow tide moving beneath a calm sea. Because red giant stars evolve slowly, they often coexist peacefully with surrounding celestial objects. Nearby planets, dust clouds, or companion stars adjust gradually to the red giant's presence. This mutual adaptation allows systems involving red giants to remain stable for long stretches of time. The expanded atmosphere of a red giant star acts like a cushion between the core and space. Energy passes through this vast region at a measured pace, losing intensity as it travels outward. By the time it reaches the surface, It has softened, contributing to the star's calm appearance. Red giant stars remind us that growth does not always mean intensity. Their expansion is accompanied by cooling rather than heating at the surface. This combination creates a star that is larger yet gentler, demonstrating that size and softness can exist together. In many galaxies, red giants contribute quietly to the background glow. They do not dominate the scene but add warmth and depth to the overall light. Their presence enhances the galaxy's calm atmosphere rather than drawing focus away from it. The long lifespan of the red giant star allows it to witness slow changes in its surroundings. Over millions of years, neighbouring stars move subtly and dust clouds drift, yet the red giant remains steady. This consistency provides a sense of continuity within an ever-changing universe. As the red giant continues its extended phase, it maintains a gentle balance between holding on and letting go. It radiates energy calmly while slowly releasing material into space, existing comfortably in a state where transformation unfolds without urgency and time feels wide and forgiving. Red giant stars often feel calm because their evolution is guided by balance rather than reaction. As conditions change deep within the core, the star responds slowly, allowing gravity and energy to settle into a new equilibrium. This careful adjustment ensures that no single force dominates, creating a steady state that can last for millions of years. The immense size of a red giant allows its surface to feel distant even from its own core. Energy produced deep inside must travel through vast layers before emerging as light. This long journey softens the energy, turning intense heat into a gentle glow that feels calm and unhurried by the time it reaches space. Red giant stars radiate light that spreads widely and evenly. Instead of concentrating brightness into a sharp point, their glow fills surrounding space softly. This diffusion makes their presence feel comforting rather than intense, as though the star is quietly sharing warmth rather than projecting power. As red giants age, their internal processes become more deliberate. Fusion reactions proceed carefully, regulated by the star's structure and gravity. This steady pace prevents sudden changes and allows the star to remain stable, reinforcing its peaceful character. The outer layers of a red giant move slowly, responding to subtle shifts in pressure and temperature. These motions are smooth and continuous, never abrupt. The surface changes gently over time, reflecting a rhythm that feels calm and predictable. Red giant stars often serve as markers of maturity within stellar populations. Their presence indicates that time has passed and processes have unfolded patiently. This sense of cosmic maturity contributes to their calming influence, reminding us that endurance can be quiet and graceful. The atmosphere of a red giant can extend so far that it becomes difficult to define where the star truly ends. This gradual transition between star and space removes sharp boundaries, allowing the red giant to feel seamlessly connected to its surroundings. Red giants emit light that carries information about their internal state without urgency. Astronomers can read these signals slowly, interpreting subtle changes over long periods. This measured exchange of information mirrors the star's own calm rhythm. In stellar clusters, red giant stars often stand out not because they are loud or bright, but because they glow steadily while others change more quickly. Their stability provides a sense of order within the group, contributing to a calm cosmic environment. As red giant stars continue their extended existence, they remain anchored in the present moment of their evolution. They do not hurry towards what comes next, nor do they cling to what has passed. They simply glow softly, allowing time to flow gently around them. Red giant stars often feel especially calming because their light carries a sense of age and patience. The photons leaving their surfaces have travelled through immense layers of stellar material before reaching space. By the time this light emerges, it feels softened and matured, as if it has learned to move slowly and evenly, spreading warmth without urgency. The expansion of a red giant creates a gentle redistribution of energy throughout the star. Instead of energy being confined to a tight region, it spreads outward across an enormous surface. This spreading reduces intensity and replaces it with balance, allowing the star to glow in a way that feels calm and unpressured. Red giant stars experience long periods where very little seems to change on the outside. While slow processes continue deep within, the surface appearance remains steady for extended spans of time. This outward stability allows the star to feel dependable and restful, even as subtle transformations quietly unfold inside. The size of a red giant star allows gravity to act in a softened way at the surface. Material there is held gently, not tightly bound, creating an environment where motion feels slow and floating rather than firm and fast. This gentle gravitational grip contributes to the star's tranquil character. Red giants often illuminate surrounding space without overwhelming it. Their glow does not wash out nearby stars or dominate their surroundings. Instead, it blends smoothly into the background, adding warmth and depth without demanding focus or attention. Inside a red giant, layers of gas move in slow, graceful cycles. Heat rises, cools, and sinks again over long timescales, creating a steady internal rhythm. These cycles are calm and predictable, reinforcing the sense that motion within a red giant is orderly and relaxed. Red giant stars are often used to study long-term cosmic change because they remain stable for so long. Their predictable behavior allows astronomers to observe evolution without interruption. This reliability mirrors the calming experience of listening to slow, steady narration that unfolds without surprises. The outer atmosphere of a red giant feels almost like a soft veil. It is thin, extended, and gently shaped by the star's internal energy. This veil blurs the boundary between star and space, creating a seamless transition that feels soothing and continuous. Red giants remind us that brightness does not need intensity to be meaningful. Their light is less sharp than that of younger stars, yet it carries richness and depth. This softer glow shows that calm presence can be just as powerful as brilliance. As red giant stars continue to exist in this expanded state, they maintain a quiet balance between change and rest. They glow steadily, release energy gently, and move through time without urgency, allowing the universe to feel wide, patient, and deeply calm around them. Red giant stars often feel calming because their vast size makes every process within them feel distant and softened. When energy rises from the core, it must travel through layers so thick and expansive that any sharp intensity is gently reduced along the way. By the time this energy reaches the surface, it has become a warm, even glow that feels steady and unhurried. The presence of a red giant star can make surrounding space feel quieter. Its light fills a wide region gently, reducing harsh contrast between brightness and darkness. This smooth illumination allows nearby space to appear balanced, as though everything is resting within the same calm field of light. Red giants often experience subtle, slow pulsations that occur over long periods of time. These gentle expansions and contractions are not signs of instability, but of adjustment. The star breathes in and out at a pace so slow that it feels more like a background rhythm than a noticeable motion. The materials within a red giant star are arranged in layers that have learned to coexist peacefully. Each layer supports the next, allowing the star to remain stable without tension. This layered calm reflects the idea that complexity does not have to be chaotic when balance is maintained. Red giant stars exist in a stage where gravity and energy have reached a comfortable agreement. Neither force pushes too strongly. This agreement allows the star to hold its expanded shape calmly, creating a long-lasting period of quiet existence. The light from a red giant star carries a sense of warmth rather than sharpness. Its reddish tones are soothing to imagine, especially when contrasted with the cold darkness of space. This gentle color palette reinforces the star's calm presence. Red giants often feel timeless because their changes are nearly invisible on human timescales. A lifetime may pass without noticeable difference in their appearance. This slow pace encourages a sense of patience and ease when thinking about their evolution. The outer layers of a red giant are so loosely bound that they respond slowly to internal shifts. This flexibility allows the star to adapt gently rather than react sharply. Motion becomes smooth and continuous, reinforcing a feeling of calm flow. Red giant stars often serve as quiet witnesses to the movement of galaxies. While stars around them drift and change position over millions of years, the red giant remains a steady presence, glowing softly as the universe moves slowly around it. As red giant stars continue in this long phase of expansion and balance, they remain examples of how the universe can change without hurry, glowing gently through vast stretches of time, allowing stillness and motion to exist together in a peaceful, steady harmony. Red giant stars often feel calm because their energy output remains smooth and even. Unlike younger stars that can flare suddenly, red giants release their energy in a steady flow. This consistency allows their light to feel dependable, creating a sense of quiet continuity that stretches across immense spans of time. The expanded shape of a red giant allows its surface to feel relaxed rather than tense. With gravity spread over such a large area, nothing feels tightly compressed. This gentle physical state supports a star that exists comfortably, without strain or resistance. Red giant stars interact with surrounding space in a softened way. Their light and gentle stellar winds move outwards slowly, blending into the interstellar environment without disruption. This gradual interaction allows the surrounding region to remain calm and undisturbed. The slow pace of change within a red giant makes it an excellent symbol of patience. Processes unfold so gradually that the star seems almost still. This sense of near stillness encourages the mind to slow down when imagining its long, quiet existence. Red giants often appear slightly diffuse when observed, lacking sharp edges. Their extended atmospheres blur the boundary between star and space, creating a soft outline that feels soothing rather than defined. This softness contributes to their peaceful visual character. The warmth emitted by a red giant feels distributed rather than focused. Instead of a concentrated beam of energy, warmth spreads gently across surrounding space. This even distribution reinforces the idea that calm often comes from balance rather than intensity. Red giant stars often coexist peacefully with dust and gas clouds nearby. Their gentle radiation does not immediately disrupt these clouds, allowing them to remain stable. This coexistence shows how calm forces can share space without conflict. The internal fusion processes of a red giant proceed carefully, guided by equilibrium. The star continuously adjusts to maintain balance, ensuring that energy production remains controlled. This careful regulation contributes to the star's long-lasting stability. Red giants often serve as anchors in stellar populations, remaining visible and steady while other stars evolve more quickly. Their presence offers a sense of continuity, as though they quietly hold space while the universe changes around them. As red giant stars continue to glow softly through their extended phase, they embody a peaceful acceptance of time. They do not rush toward transformation, nor do they resist it, existing instead in a long, calm moment where light, warmth, and balance remain gently aligned. Red giant stars often feel calm because their lives are no longer defined by urgency. The rapid fuel burning of youth has passed, and what remains is a slow, deliberate phase where energy is released carefully and evenly. This shift allows the star to exist without pressure, radiating warmth in a way that feels settled and unhurried. The immense scale of a red giant creates a sense of distance even within itself. Layers are separated by vast expanses of gas. allowing heat and motion to spread gently rather than sharply. This internal spaciousness softens every process, turning intense reactions into slow, flowing adjustments. Red giant stars maintain their structure through quiet cooperation between forces. Gravity pulls inward while energy presses outward, and neither force overwhelms the other. This ongoing balance creates a stable state that can last for millions of years, reinforcing the star's peaceful presence. The light from a red giant carries the memory of long travel. It begins deep in the core and moves outward through enormous layers before reaching space. Each layer tempers the energy, smoothing it into a calm glow that feels steady and reassuring. Red giant stars often appear serene because they lack sharp visual contrast. Their surfaces glow evenly, without intense hotspots or sudden dark regions. This uniformity allows the eye to rest, mirroring the way the star itself exists in equilibrium. As red giants age, they adapt slowly rather than resisting change. Their structures adjust gently to shifting conditions, allowing transformation to unfold without disruption. This quiet adaptability contributes to their long-lasting stability. The outer atmosphere of a red giant can feel like a soft extension rather than a boundary. It drifts outward gradually, blending into space without a clear edge. This gentle transition reinforces the idea that separation in the universe can be smooth and calm. Red giant stars often occupy regions of space where activity has slowed. Star formation nearby may have ended long ago, leaving behind a quieter environment where red giants glow steadily. This calm setting enhances their peaceful character. The slow release of material from a red giant does not feel like loss. Instead, it resembles a gradual sharing, as elements drift outward to become part of the galaxy. This gentle contribution happens without urgency or force. As red giant stars continue along their extended paths, they remain calm companions to time itself. They glow, expand, and adjust at a pace that feels patient and forgiving, allowing the universe around them to feel wide, quiet, and deeply restful. Red giant stars often feel calm because they exist in a state where nothing needs immediate attention. Their internal processes move forward slowly, guided by balance rather than reaction. This lack of urgency allows the star to remain steady, as though it has learned to rest within its own rhythm. The enormous volume of a red giant creates a sense of spaciousness throughout the star. Energy has room to spread, and motion has room to soften. This internal openness turns powerful forces into gentle flows, allowing the star to glow without strain. Red giant stars radiate light that feels mature and settled. Unlike the sharp brilliance of younger stars, their glow has been shaped by time, becoming warmer and more even. This softened light carries a feeling of quiet endurance rather than intensity. The slow evolution of a red giant allows it to exist comfortably in the present. There is no sudden shift toward what comes next, only gradual adjustment. This extended present makes the star feel grounded, existing fully in its current state without anticipation. Red giants often have surfaces that change subtly over long periods. Brightness patterns may drift or shift slowly, but these changes are smooth and continuous. Nothing on the surface happens abruptly, reinforcing a sense of calm movement rather than disruption. The balance within a red giant is maintained through constant, gentle correction. If one region produces slightly more energy, the star responds by expanding just enough to restore equilibrium. This self-regulating behavior keeps the star stable and peaceful. Red giant stars exist within a quiet relationship with gravity. Gravity does not compress them tightly, nor does it lose its hold. Instead, it supports the star's expanded form in a gentle embrace, allowing it to remain large and calm. The atmosphere of a red giant feels like a soft continuation of the star itself. Rather than ending suddenly, it thins gradually, merging with surrounding space. This slow fade removes any sense of boundary, creating continuity between star and universe. Red giant stars often appear unchanged over human lifetimes. Decades or centuries pass without noticeable difference in their appearance. This constancy gives them a timeless quality that feels reassuring and stable. As red giant stars continue to glow through vast stretches of time, they remain symbols of quiet persistence. They do not rush or resist. They simply exist, radiating warmth and light gently, allowing the universe to unfold around them at a pace that feels calm and unforced. Red giant stars often feel calm because their expanded state allows everything within them to slow down naturally. Energy does not rush from the core to the surface. Instead, it moves patiently through enormous layers of gas, taking long, quiet journeys that soften every process along the way. This natural slowing creates a star that feels composed rather than active. The vast outer layers of a red giant act like a gentle buffer between the intense core and open space. These layers absorb and distribute energy evenly, preventing sharp changes from reaching the surface. This buffering effect helps the star maintain a steady glow that feels smooth and uninterrupted. Red giant stars often develop a sense of visual softness because their light emerges from extended atmospheres. Instead of shining from a sharply defined surface, their glow passes through layers of thinning gas. This diffusion creates a gentle halo effect, making the star appear calm and welcoming rather than stark. The long lifespan of a red giant allows it to exist without concern for immediate outcomes. Millions of years pass without forcing the star toward a sudden transition. This extended time frame gives the impression that the star is resting within time rather than moving through it. Inside a red giant, matter exists in a state of quiet cooperation. Particles move slowly, guided by pressure and gravity that remain carefully balanced. This cooperation prevents turbulence and supports the star's long-term stability. Red giant stars often feel serene because their brightness changes are subtle and gradual. Any increase or decrease in light happens over long periods, allowing observers to perceive steadiness rather than fluctuation. This steadiness reinforces the star's calming presence. The expanded form of a red giant allows gravity to act gently at the surface. Objects there would feel lightly held, as though suspended rather than anchored. This softness in gravity contributes to the overall sense of ease surrounding the star. Red giants often occupy regions of space that feel mature and quiet. These areas have fewer energetic events, allowing the star's calm glow to blend naturally into the surrounding darkness. The environment itself supports the star's peaceful character. The internal adjustments of a red giant are continuous but unhurried. When conditions shift slightly, the star responds slowly, expanding or contracting just enough to restore balance. This constant fine-tuning happens without drama or disruption. As red giant stars continue their long, steady existence, they remain examples of how the universe allows powerful objects to soften with time. They glow gently, adjust quietly, and exist comfortably within vast stretches of calm space, allowing stillness and slow change to coexist naturally. Red giant stars often feel calm because they have reached a point where their structure no longer needs to prove itself. The intense pressure and compact energy of earlier stages have eased, allowing the star to expand into a more relaxed form. This expansion does not weaken the star. Instead, it redistributes its strength gently, creating a presence that feels settled and unhurried. The immense outer layers of a red giant act like a quiet cushion around the star. Energy rising from the core spreads gradually through this vast envelope, losing sharpness as it travels. By the time it reaches the surface, it has transformed into a soft glow, reinforcing the star's tranquil appearance. Red giant stars often exhibit a calm regularity in their behavior. Their brightness, size, and temperature remain within predictable ranges for long periods. This consistency allows them to feel dependable, like steady landmarks within the ever-changing landscape of the universe. The surface of a red giant moves slowly, shaped by convection currents that take years to complete a single cycle. These motions are gentle and continuous, never abrupt. The surface appears alive but relaxed, like slow-moving currents beneath a quiet ocean. Red giant stars interact with their surroundings in subtle ways. Their gentle radiation warms nearby dust and gas without disturbing it. This soft interaction allows surrounding material to remain stable, reinforcing the sense that red giants coexist peacefully with their environment. The internal fusion processes of a red giant are carefully balanced. Energy production adjusts slowly to changing conditions, preventing runaway reactions. This self-regulation keeps the star stable and allows it to remain in this calm phase for millions of years. Red giant stars often seem to glow with patience. Their light carries no urgency, no signal of sudden change. It spreads evenly into space, offering warmth without intensity, like a constant presence rather than an event. The atmosphere of a red giant feels like a gradual extension of the star rather than a defined boundary. Gas thins slowly as it moves outward, blending seamlessly into space. This smooth transition removes any sense of separation between star and surroundings. Red giants often appear unchanged across human generations. While centuries pass, their appearance remains familiar. This enduring stability gives them a timeless quality that feels reassuring when imagined during rest. As red giant stars continue along their long evolutionary paths, they remain quietly luminous, existing within a gentle balance of forces, glowing steadily as time moves around them slowly and without pressure. Red giant stars often feel calm because they exist in a phase where expansion has already occurred and nothing needs to rush further outward. Their size has settled into a broad, comfortable balance, allowing the star to remain steady without striving to grow or contract quickly. This sense of having already arrived contributes to their deeply restful presence. The light from a red giant star carries a softness shaped by long travel through its extended atmosphere. As photons move outward, they pass through layers of thinning gas that gently scatter and smooth the light. By the time it reaches open space, the glow feels even and warm, never sharp or demanding. Red giant stars often feel quiet because their internal reactions have found a stable rhythm. Fusion continues, but it does so carefully, guided by conditions that change only slowly. This measured pace prevents sudden surges of energy and allows the star to maintain its calm glow for immense periods. The vast surface of a red giant allows any motion to feel distant. Convection currents move across areas so large that their motion becomes almost imperceptible. This slow movement contributes to the impression that the star is resting rather than actively changing. Red giant stars interact gently with gravity. Gravity no longer compresses them tightly, but instead supports their expanded form. This softer gravitational balance allows the star to remain large and luminous without strain, reinforcing its peaceful character. The atmosphere surrounding a red giant acts like a gentle buffer between the star and space. It absorbs and releases energy gradually, preventing abrupt transitions. This buffering effect creates a smooth connection between the star's interior and the surrounding universe. Red giant stars often feel timeless because their changes occur far beyond human awareness. Lifetimes pass without visible difference, making the star appear constant and dependable. This sense of permanence offers a comforting contrast to the rapid changes experienced on smaller scales. The reddish tones of a red giant's light are naturally calming. These warm colours arise from cooler surface temperatures and spread evenly across the star's vast surface. When imagined, this glow feels soothing, like a distant warmth that does not demand attention. Red giants often exist in regions of space where activity is slowed. Younger stars may have moved on, leaving behind a quieter environment where red giants glow steadily. This calm setting enhances their gentle presence within the galaxy. As red giant stars continue their long existence, they remain balanced between holding energy and releasing it slowly. They glow softly, adjust gradually, and move through time without urgency, existing calmly within the wide, patient stillness of the universe. Red giant stars often feel calm because they exist in a phase where effort has softened into balance. The intense struggle between gravity and energy that once defined their earlier life has eased, allowing the star to remain expanded and comfortable. This settled state gives the impression that the star is resting within itself, rather than actively striving to change. The immense volume of a red giant allows heat to spread gently instead of concentrating in one place. Energy moves outward through vast layers, gradually losing intensity. This slow diffusion creates a star whose glow feels warm and steady, never sharp or overwhelming, as though the light itself has learned patience. Red giant stars often appear peaceful because their outer layers respond slowly to internal changes. When the core adjusts slightly, the surface takes a long time to reflect that change. This delay smooths out variations, allowing the star's appearance to remain calm and consistent over long periods. The atmosphere of a red giant extends far into space, forming a soft transition rather than a clear edge. Gas thins gradually as it moves outward, creating a sense that the star blends gently into its surroundings. This blending removes any feeling of separation, reinforcing a sense of continuity and ease. Red giant stars experience gravity in a softened way at their surfaces. Objects there would feel lightly held, almost floating rather than firmly pressed downward. This gentle gravitational environment adds to the star's overall feeling of calm suspension within space. The light emitted by a red giant travels slowly through its extended atmosphere before escaping into space. This journey smooths the light's energy, creating a glow that feels even and unhurried. When imagined during rest, this light feels like a distant warmth rather than a sharp beacon. Red giant stars often remain stable for immense spans of time, allowing their surroundings to adapt gently to their presence. Nearby dust and gas adjust slowly, creating a harmonious environment shaped by gradual interaction rather than forceful influence. The internal structure of a red giant supports long-term calm by distributing pressure evenly. Layers are arranged in a way that prevents sudden shifts, allowing the star to maintain equilibrium without stress. This internal order reflects outward as a steady, soothing glow. Red giants often seem quiet because they lack the dramatic events associated with other stellar stages. There are no violent flares or sudden outbursts. Instead, the star continues its slow rhythm, glowing steadily and predictably. As red giant stars continue along their long evolutionary paths, they remain examples of how the universe allows transformation to unfold gently. They expand, glow, and adjust without haste, existing calmly within a vast field of time where change feels soft and unforced. Red giant stars often feel calm because they exist in a stage where motion has slowed into quiet presence. The rapid changes of earlier life have faded, leaving behind a steady rhythm that unfolds without interruption. This unhurried existence allows the star to remain comfortable within its expanded form, as though it has settled into a natural resting state. The vast outer layers of a red giant act as a gentle shield, absorbing and redistributing energy smoothly. Heat from the core travels outward through immense distances, gradually softening as it goes. By the time it reaches the surface, the energy has transformed into a calm, even glow that feels steady and reassuring. Red giant stars carry an impression of softness because their boundaries are not sharply defined. Their atmospheres thin gradually, allowing the star to blend almost seamlessly into surrounding space. This gentle fading removes any sense of abrupt separation, creating a feeling of openness and continuity. The internal balance of a red giant is maintained through slow, careful adjustments. When pressure or temperature changes slightly, the star responds gradually, expanding or settling just enough to restore equilibrium. This constant fine-tuning happens quietly, without disruption or strain. Red giant stars often glow with a warmth that feels familiar and comforting. Their reddish light is less intense than that of younger stars, making it easier to imagine as a steady presence rather than a focal point. This warmth feels like background illumination, supporting calm rather than demanding attention. The immense size of a red giant allows time itself to feel stretched. Processes that would take moments in smaller stars unfold over years or centuries here. This stretching of time contributes to the sense that everything about a red giant happens gently and without urgency. Red giant stars coexist peacefully with the surrounding galaxy. Their radiation does not overwhelm nearby regions, and their slow loss of material integrates quietly into the interstellar medium. This harmonious interaction allows the star and its environment to remain balanced. The surface motions of a red giant occur on such large scales that they feel distant and slow. Convection currents move gradually, shaping the surface over long periods. These motions add life to the star without disturbing its calm presence. Red giants often appear unchanged across long spans of observation. Generations may pass without noticeable difference in their appearance. This constancy creates a feeling of timelessness, as though the star exists beyond the rush of ordinary change. As red giant stars continue their long, gentle phase of existence, they remain luminous without urgency, balanced without effort, and present without demand, glowing softly within the vast stillness of space as time moves quietly around them. Red giant stars often feel calm because they have entered a phase where nothing is required of them except to exist. They are no longer building toward intensity or reacting to rapid change. Instead, they remain present within their expanded state, allowing energy, light, and gravity to move gently and predictably through them. The outer layers of a red giant move so slowly that their motion feels almost invisible. Any rise or fall of material happens over such long periods that it blends into stillness. This near-still movement gives the star a quiet resting quality, as though it is breathing at a pace far slower than ordinary time. Red giant stars feel soothing because their light is shaped by distance and patience. Photons leaving the surface have travelled through vast layers, smoothing their energy before entering space. The result is a glow that feels warm and even, carrying no sharp edges or sudden intensity. The internal pressure of a red giant is distributed gently across its enormous volume. No single region bears too much strain. This even distribution prevents instability and allows the star to maintain balance without effort, reinforcing its calm and steady nature. Red giants often exist within a kind of cosmic silence. They are not surrounded by frequent bursts of activity or violent events. Instead, space around them remains quiet, allowing their gentle glow to stand alone against the darkness without competition or disruption. The atmosphere of a red giant continues to drift outwards slowly, forming an extended envelope that fades gradually into space. This slow fading removes the idea of a hard boundary, making the star feel less like an object and more like a gentle presence within the universe. Red giant stars often feel timeless because their changes are too subtle to notice across human lifespans. Years pass without visible difference, allowing the star to appear constant and dependable. This sense of continuity brings comfort when imagined during rest. The warmth of a red giant does not rush outward. Instead, it lingers, spreading softly through surrounding space. This lingering warmth creates an atmosphere that feels welcoming and stable rather than sharp or demanding. Red giants demonstrate that expansion can be peaceful. As they grow larger, they do not become chaotic. Instead, they settle into a wider balance, showing that growth does not always require urgency or intensity. As red giant stars continue along their slow evolutionary paths, They remain quiet companions to time itself, glowing steadily, adjusting gently, and existing calmly within the vast stillness of the universe, where change unfolds softly and without pressure. Red giant stars often feel calm because they exist in a state where nothing presses them forward. Their evolution has slowed into a gentle continuation rather than a progression toward urgency. This lack of pressure allows the star to remain relaxed within its expanded form, existing comfortably without the need to hurry. The immense distance between a red giant's core and its surface allows energy to lose its sharpness as it travels outward. Heat spreads gradually through vast layers of gas, turning intensity into warmth. This slow transformation of energy gives the star its soft, steady glow that feels reassuring rather than demanding. Red giant stars seem peaceful because their outer layers respond patiently to change. When internal conditions shift slightly, the surface adjusts over long periods, smoothing out variations. This delayed response prevents sudden changes and helps maintain a calm, consistent appearance. The atmosphere surrounding a red giant often extends far beyond the visible surface, thinning gently into space. This gradual thinning creates a feeling of openness, as though the star is dissolving softly into its surroundings rather than ending abruptly. Red giant stars hold their material lightly. Gravity at the surface is gentle, allowing gas to hover and drift instead of falling sharply inward. This light hold contributes to the sensation that the star exists in a state of quiet suspension. The light emitted by a red giant does not overwhelm nearby space. It spreads evenly, blending with darkness instead of overpowering it. This balance between light and shadow creates an environment that feels harmonious and calm. Red giants often feel steady because their internal processes have reached a rhythm that rarely changes. Fusion continues at a controlled pace, maintaining equilibrium without disruption. This ongoing steadiness allows the star to remain luminous without its instability. The slow release of material from a red giant star feels more like a gentle sharing than a loss. Gas drifts outward gradually, becoming part of the surrounding galaxy. This process happens quietly, reinforcing the idea that contribution can be calm and unforced. Red giant stars exist comfortably within long stretches of time. They are not defined by quick events or sudden transitions. Instead, their identity is shaped by duration, allowing them to feel anchored and dependable. As red giant stars continue their extended existence, they remain softly luminous, balanced between gravity and energy, glowing steadily within the vast stillness of space, where time moves slowly and nothing demands immediate change. Red giant stars often feel calm because they exist in a stage where the universe no longer asks them to prove their strength. Their energy is steady, their structure is settled, and their presence is defined by quiet endurance rather than activity. This sense of having already done what was needed allows the star to rest within its own vast form. The immense scale of a red giant creates a feeling of gentleness simply through distance. Heat, pressure, and motion all have so far to travel that they soften naturally along the way. This distance turns powerful forces into slow, flowing processes that feel peaceful rather than intense. Red giant stars glow with a kind of warmth that feels patient. Their light does not rush outward or flicker unpredictably. Instead, it emerges evenly and spreads across space in a smooth, unbroken way, creating a calm visual presence that feels easy to imagine and restful to hold in the mind. The atmosphere of a red giant continues to drift outward, at a pace so slow it feels almost still. Gas moves gently, responding to gravity and energy without resistance. This gradual outward motion gives the star an appearance of quiet expansion without effort or strain. Red giant stars often feel tranquil because they exist in harmony with time. They do not mark moments with sudden events or sharp changes. Instead, their existence is measured in long spans, where one moment blends seamlessly into the next, allowing time itself to feel softened. The internal structure of a red giant supports calm by distributing energy evenly across vast layers. No single region dominates the star's behavior. This shared balance keeps the star stable and allows it to maintain its expanded form without disruption. Red giants often appear serene because their brightness does not demand attention. Their glow remains consistent, never spiking or fading suddenly. This reliability allows the star to become part of the background of space rather than a focal point, encouraging a sense of ease. The slow motion of material within a red giant gives the impression that the star is gently breathing. Expansion and adjustment happen quietly, without visible effort. This subtle rhythm reinforces the idea that motion can exist without urgency. Red giant stars interact with their surroundings in a softened way. Their influence spreads gradually, allowing nearby space to adjust slowly. This gentle interaction prevents disturbance and preserves the calm character of the region around the star. As red giant stars continue to glow within their long, patient phase, they remain steady companions to the passage of time, existing calmly within the wide silence of space, where light drifts gently, change unfolds slowly, and nothing needs to happen quickly at all. Red giant stars often feel calm because they exist in a phase where motion has softened into presence. Their expansion has already unfolded, and what remains is a long period of quiet stability. Nothing pushes them forward quickly, and nothing pulls them back sharply. They simply remain, glowing gently within their own spacious form. The vast distance between the core of a red giant and its surface allows every internal process to slow naturally. Heat, pressure, and motion must travel through enormous layers, giving them time to settle and smooth out. This long journey transforms intense energy into a calm, even glow by the time it reaches the surface. Red giant stars carry a sense of quiet maturity. Their light reflects a long history of balance and adjustment, shaped by millions of years of steady evolution. This maturity gives their glow a softened quality that feels reassuring rather than demanding. The atmosphere of a red giant feels like a slow continuation of the star itself. Instead of stopping abruptly, it thins gradually, merging gently into space. This seamless transition removes sharp boundaries and allows the star to feel open and unconfined. Red giants often feel peaceful because their internal forces are no longer competing aggressively. Gravity and energy have reached a comfortable agreement, each holding its place without strain. This agreement allows the star to maintain its expanded state calmly and reliably. The light from a red giant spreads outward evenly, filling space without overpowering it. There are no sudden flashes or bursts. Instead, the glow remains consistent, creating a steady background presence that feels easy to rest with. Red giant stars exist within long stretches of time where little seems to change on the surface. Days, years, and centuries pass without visible difference. This constancy allows the star to feel timeless, existing beyond the quick pace of ordinary moments. The slow movement of material within a red giant gives the impression of deep stillness layered with gentle motion. Convection currents rise and fall over long periods, adding subtle life without disrupting the star's calm presence. Red giants interact gently with the surrounding galaxy. Their radiation warms nearby space softly, and their gradual loss of material enriches the interstellar medium without disturbance. This quiet contribution happens naturally and without urgency. As red giant stars continue their long, steady existence, they remain calm witnesses to the passage of time, glowing softly within the vast silence of space, where change unfolds gently and stillness feels enduring and complete. Red giant stars often feel calm because their presence is no longer driven by striving or intensity. They've already passed through the active urgency of youth and what remains is a steady state where energy is released evenly and without pressure. This sense of having settled into their role gives red giants a deeply restful quality. The expanded size of a red giant allows space itself to feel more forgiving. Distances between layers are so vast that motion naturally slows, turning what could be sharp reactions into smooth transitions. This internal spaciousness softens every process and contributes to the star's gentle glow. Red giant stars emit light that feels patient. Each particle of light has travelled through an enormous envelope of gas before reaching space, losing sharpness along the way. By the time it leaves the star, the light carries warmth without urgency, creating a soothing presence against the dark background of the universe. The atmosphere of a red giant behaves like a quiet extension of the star rather than a separate layer. It thins gradually, allowing gas to drift outward at a pace so slow it feels almost suspended. This gradual movement removes any sense of tension or abrupt change. Red giant stars feel peaceful because their internal processes are governed by balance rather than force. Fusion reactions proceed carefully, guided by conditions that change only slowly. This careful regulation prevents instability and allows the star to remain calm for immense spans of time. The gravitational pull at the surface of a red giant is gentle, allowing material to linger rather than fall sharply inward. This light touch creates an environment where motion feels floating and unforced, reinforcing the sense that the star exists in a state of quiet suspension. Red giants often appear steady across human lifetimes. Decades and centuries pass without noticeable change, giving them a timeless quality. This constancy makes them feel like reliable companions in the night sky, glowing softly while time moves on. The slow convection currents inside a red giant rise and fall over long periods, shaping the surface subtly. These movements are calm and rhythmic, adding life to the star without disturbing its overall stillness. Red giant stars interact with surrounding space gently. Their radiation and gradual loss of material blend smoothly into the interstellar environment, enriching it without disruption. This cooperative relationship allows the surrounding region to remain calm and balanced. As red giant stars continue their long, unhurried existence, they remain quiet reminders that even the largest objects in the universe can soften with time, glowing steadily within the vast silence of space, where motion is gentle and nothing needs to happen quickly. As this quiet journey through red giant stars begins to fade into the background, there is nothing left that needs your attention. These vast stars will continue their slow expansion and gentle glow whether they're being observed or not. Their steady balance, their softened light, and their patience with time remain constant, quietly unfolding across the universe. You may notice your thoughts becoming lighter now, less defined, like distant points of warm light drifting through darkness. That is perfectly natural. Just as red giant stars do not rush their transformations, your mind does not need to reach any conclusion or hold on to any thought. Everything can remain open and unfinished. Let your breathing stay easy and unforced. Allow your body to rest exactly where it is, supported without effort. You might imagine yourself floating far from urgency, surrounded by the slow warmth of these ancient stars, held gently within the same calm forces that guide them through space. Red giant stars remind us that growth does not always mean intensity, and change does not require speed. They exist in a state where power has softened into balance, and time moves without pressure. In that wide stillness, the mind is free to slow, to wander, or to rest completely. There is no need to follow anything further now. The quiet glow can continue on its own, steady and patient. Let the calm remain, let the silence settle, and allow whatever comes next to arrive naturally, carried gently by the same slow rhythm that guides the stars. Good night.